Hi, Charles. Traynor, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good, Lee. Glad to be back on the show. I got a spoiler or not a spoiler, but a public service announcement before we get into the album we're doing today.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you have to say it like maybe every 10 episodes or so.
Mm.
If you're a fan of this band, I'm sorry. Okay, what are we doing today, Lee?
Okay, we're doing an album. Well, I'll let you decide if you want to say why you picked it, but but I picked the actual album. But the group is Keel, and the album is The Right to Rock. I am going to say quickly. I think that probably why you picked it was was to at least say the food looks spoiled or it looks like shit, but unless you actually taste it, how do you know? Kind of like that. Am I kind of correct?
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it was a few years ago, a day that will live in infamy. I went to the worst concert I've ever seen in my life.
Hmm.
And it was named after this guy,
Yeah.
Keel Fest.
Yeah.
I think it was Keel Fest 2 to be, there was two. I don't know if there was a third. I hope not. But I knew nothing about this guy. Nothing. Other than I knew that one time Gene Simmons had something to do with him, and then I found out he produced this album.
Yeah.
Um, so Gene tried to help these guys out. And that was about it. I mean, he's done I'm surprised he hasn't come out with a hip hop album. I mean, he's tried everything. He's tried, what's the first group? Steeler.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about them. I heard they're like the best of everything he's done. I don't know. Then there's Keel. Then there's the country Ron Keel. Then there's the Southern rock Ron Keel. And I give him credit for not quitting. I mean, he'll try. He keeps trying, apparently, or has throughout the years. I don't know what years this come out. Like it was probably 85 or so, 80, something like that. 86.
That sounds about right.
Okay. And but yeah, it's kind of that way because I seen him live and it was really bad. I don't think there was one cool song played, but the company at the time made it worth it. So it wasn't the worst concert experience I've ever had, but it was definitely the worst music I heard at a concert.
Yeah.
And so I figured, well, the hell with it. Let's. Ironically, I watched a fan-made video about Headbangers Ball
Hmm.
and what led to its downfall and blah 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 blah. And they kept showing over and over again Keel being interviewed.
Hmm.
You didn't hear the interview. It was just, how they talk over a bunch of clips. And it kept repeating over and over. So when Ron Keel being interviewed by Dio, then I think they were showing this album. I think it was promoting this album. It was really kind of strange. But I didn't hear what he had to say to Dio. I bet Dio was regretting having to talk about that stuff. But who knows? I don't know. What's your history with the Keel boatsters, or whatever these guys are called, the Keel?
Yeah, well, my first introduction to him was not through Steeler. In fact, I never fully listened to the Steeler album. At the time, it was kind of rare. And when I finally found a copy of it, I decided maybe I'll wait to buy it. And I didn't think about listening to it. And then later, way later, I decided to hear some of it, and I was so happy I had not bought it. And but the Hit Parader magazine had
Yeah.
interviews with him when this was out, and it was around the time that Black and Blues album was out, and Rat and Accept. Well, they were around a little bit earlier than some of the others, but they were always included. And so he had talked about how Gene Simmons produced the album, and something about it made me think, well, okay, I'll take a chance. And so I bought this album. And I could have bought maybe one of the other albums that he did. He did like one earlier than this. And I did hear that one, and I'm so glad I did not get it. And but this particular album, even though I'm not going to say it was the very, very best album that I got, and even though I have my opinions, which I will mention in this review, I do think that, and I still do think, that if you do want to taste the best mushrooms, and you're not a fan of mushrooms, and this album is one of the mushrooms, it's probably the only one you'd need to taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food logic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's about it. Like I said, I don't really know much about these guys. I will say, Ron Keel is a large man.
Yeah.
I've seen him up close. Large man, rather intense. So don't come after me, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did talk with him, and he was cool, and I was actually thinking of buying one of his albums just to be nice, because he was nice to talk to, but they didn't have the right credit card machine for my card that I had. So they just said, oh, don't worry about it, and they were laughing, and so I was like, okay, I won't buy it. And after I got home and listened to what I was about to buy, it was like I saved myself a major upset. So yeah. Anyway,
that's pretty much how it is. Big, strong, strapping man.
Yeah.
Not a tiny, dainty little guy like a lot of rockers are.
Yeah.
And this is The Right to Rock, produced by Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Okay.
Did he manage him as well?
You
know, Gene was managing groups then, but I don't know if he managed.
He might have thought about it, but I don't think he actually did with them. I think I think this was more like he was sniffing out which groups would accept him as a producer, and the few that did, he latched on to them for a few albums and then went on his way later, kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the history. So let's get into it, Lee.
Okay. Who wants to start?
I can go first.
Okay. All right. The first song is the title track, The Right to Rock. What do you think of that?
Well, I can say I do enjoy the guitar work. And the drums sound pretty good, too. And that's about all I can say good. From the incredibly cheesy lyrics, the Keel trying to do a Kevin Dubrow impersonation. This is nothing but like a piece of corn. This isn't even a mushroom. This is like the smallest corn kernel that you could possibly get on the cob. And it's cringy. This is my final analysis of this track.
Okay. I will say this, so that I don't have to repeat it with every single song that I'm going to talk about. His voice on there is like the loudest guy in the room who's ruining what is otherwise a perfectly good party. But anyway, I think it's a decent opening track. It does sound like a lot of other stuff out there, but it is still not bad. After not hearing it for some time, hearing it again is okay. Okay, now for Back to the City. I like this better than the first song. It's pretty good. I can still groove to it. It's cool. What do you think?
The guitars, again, they're fine. Then Ron kicks in and I kick out. If you like screaming, then this is the jam for you. But the song isn't as cringy as the opener, though. But I can also see why nobody cared about this contextually in its day. But it's better than the opener, and I do enjoy Mark Ferrari's guitar work.
Okay, what do you think of Let's Spend the Night Together?
What the world certainly didn't ask for. A Stones cover by Keel. And it may be one of the worst covers I've ever heard. It makes me long for Motley Crue's Like a Virgin, which, while equally shitty, at least I can laugh at that. Terrible cover here. Even the guitar suck on it.
Oh, well, I put Heavier Than the Rolling Stones version, and I loved the Rolling Stones version when I was growing up. But this is a good heavy version that sounds respectful of the original. I think it's done well. But then again, I heard it when I was 6 years old. So maybe I'm listening through a 6-year-old mentality.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe this album was for 6-year-olds. 6-year-olds with good head plugs. Anyway, the next song, Easier Said Than Done. Okay. This is an okay song. It has some okay moments in it, and I can enjoy it, but it's not especially better than the other tracks. It's more of a filler piece for me. What do you think?
Gene Simmons, Mitch Weissman song. You don't get enough of those out there. Gene, you got to make sure you got some royalties. Huh? They did this on all the albums he produced. And wow, am I glad he hawked this crappy tune. Sadly, I do hear Gene's touch on it as well, but it's the put my log in your fireplace Gene, not Deuce. But so far on this album, it's one of the better tracks. That should tell you something.
Huh. Okay, what do you think of So Many Girls, So Little Time?
Another Gene tune co-written by some dude named Howard Rice. I think Keel even attempts a bit of a Gene impersonation at points. My, does this song blow. Every hair metal cliche in one song. Really terrible song.
Okay, I put, at the time I first heard this song, I thought it was more of a filler tune, and now I think it's one of the better tunes off the album. It might be the best song on side one. It's definitely quite good. Okay, now for Electric Love. This borders a little bit on a bit too poppy for my taste. But overall, it's still decent, and I don't really dislike it a lot. But instead of a leather wristband, it makes me want to take out my blow dryer. What do you think?
Yeah, we're back with some actual Ron Keel songs, and now they want to imitate Rat. Sound-wise, vocally, it's more that because the vocals are just that really certain kind of terrible that only this man can do. With that said, this wasn't so vomit-inducing, though. Still crappy, but not quite as smelly.
Okay, what do you think of Speed Demon?
This song is actually a Men in Black 2. Interesting trivia note. Probably the best song on the album. Even though it's not something I'd go to for enjoyment. But for this album, this is high art.
Okay, I put, it used to be my favorite song on the album, and now it's only okay. I do like the heavy, fast beat to it, but the song itself isn't as interesting to me anymore than it once was. But I don't dislike it. I still think it's all right. Right. Now for Get Down. I thought it was filler when I first heard it, and I still think of it that way. It's kind of odd and interesting for that reason, but more like it's interesting how it's not a great song. But I've heard worse. What do you think?
Yeah, our last Gene Penn song. And I swear, Paul Stanley drew inspiration for Read My Body with the drums here. And that song is bad. This is worse. This isn't even music.
Okay, what do you think of the last song, You're the Victim, I'm the Crime?
Now they're ripping off Priest here. And I gotta say, even though they're ripping off Priest to me a bit, this one's kind of ripping. Matter of fact, this is the only song they should ever play. You're the victim, I'm the crime. Greatest Keel song ever. Go ahead, Lee.
Okay, I think this is a good song. I like it better than I did when I first heard it. I used to think it was filler, but now I think it's one of the better songs on the album. It's most definitely the best song on side 2. So there you
There
go.
you go. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you liked it a little more in retrospect. This is the first time I've ever heard it. And as
Yeah.
a 52-year-old man, it was very crappy.
But I will say that some of the stuff that you said about it was how I used to feel. So you know what I mean. So go on.
Well, I mean, I'll never retouch on it again, but I'm glad that you did and had a newfound appreciation for the Keel outfit.
Yeah. I'm not going to put it on again soon, but I mean, since I had to for the review, I did.
Now, I listened, folks, just for your record out there, I listened to the 25th anniversary version, I think, which I think it was a little bit remastered.
I did too.
Sonically, it sounded fine. They have, a couple remakes that we didn't go over. That's okay. We don't need to.
I wouldn't have wanted to anyway.
Right. But sonically, it sounds okay. It's just not my kind of thing. But what did I know? I thought Poison was a good band at this time. I didn't know shit. So
yeah,
I would have never heard these guys, but hey, I listened. I survived.
Yeah.
I do like the last song. I think Speed Demon's okay. The rest of it sucked.
Yeah.
But hey, I survived a Keel album. There you go. I did think I will never listen again though, because I don't want him to get that 2-cent royalty. I want him to pay me the 2 cents back, and I'm still waiting for my refund from Keel Fest.
Yeah.
Which I haven't gotten.
Yeah.
Oh well. But it was still cool. It was still cool listening to it. So I'm glad you had me back again.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you again, Charles, and thank you, everybody, and take care. Bye-bye.